The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our webinar this week. My name is Tanya, and I handle the day-to-day marketing efforts over here at Struxsoft Solutions. So today's session will be a little different than our usual MWF webinars. Today's session will be led by Steve, who is one of our software application specialists. He'll be walking you through Autodesk BIM360, including common questions like what is it, why, and who should use it, and also where you can find it. Just before we get going, I'd like to remind everyone that at the end of the webinar, we'll be taking a couple of live questions. In order to be selected, please press the raise hand button on the dashboard. Just please also make sure that your mic is working correctly. If you'd prefer, you can also ask questions throughout the webinar in the questions tab of the GoToWebinar dashboard. All right, that's it for me. I'm going to hand off to Steve now.
Hi, I'm Steve Errol. I'm an implementation specialist at Struxsoft Solution. Okay, just to tell you a little bit about me, I've been working in multiple architectural firms over the years. So I've done technical detail, BIM managing. So I would say I know a little bit about BIM360. Okay, so now we're gonna start and we're gonna answer the first question, what is BIM360? Okay, so BIM360 is not an application, it's a cloud-based platform for AEC project, okay, so architecture, engineering, and construction. So it's gonna allow you to have a document management and to manage the project from the conception phase to the handover the delivery. Okay, so here we're going to look a little bit at the module that you have in BIM360. There's a couple of modules. There's some main module, and I would say there's a module that are connected to those modules. Okay, so here we have 4 of the main module. Here, the first one we're going to see it's document management. Document management is the one where you can put all your document. And when we say document, it's not only Autodesk file, but you can put all kind of file. It could be Excel spreadsheet and on everything that you need to put into your project. From here, you can see you can have the ability to view the plan also, and you can be able to review, transmittal, and put all your issues you have on those drawings. The good thing with document management, since it's an Autodesk platform, so that means every Autodesk file that you put, like Revit, AutoCAD, Navisworks, you're going to be able to view those files directly within the browser, because you don't have to have an external software to view those files, because you have Autodesk viewer built in. Next, we're going to look at the one called Design Collaboration. This one is the ability to connect Revit to BIM360. Okay, so this one, we can call it like a bridge. So you're going to have the ability to send your model directly to BIM360 using this software. The thing you need to note, everything that you put, like document you put in BIM360 is always going to be in that module, document management. So even though we're going to be using Design Collaboration, all your document going to be hosted on the one called document management. So the reason why you would want to use this one instead of using your local network to do a collaboration, this one gives you the ability to have a multi-site office and everybody can connect to the same model. They just need to have an internet connection. So no IT people can be necessary for this one. So that means if you look at the cost of hiring IT people to do the setup, if you have a offsite office or something, other companies that work on the same project, you want them to collaborate within the same model or the model at the same location, you can put them all in, and the security can be managed by Autodesk. And just to let you know, Autodesk use the Amazon server to host all their platforms, so it's pretty secure. Next, we can see the one called model coordination. Okay, so this one gives you the ability to do clash detection. So if you look at a software that can do the same thing, would be Navisworks. So if you use Navisworks, you can use the clash detection, but that's another software that you didn't need to learn. The good thing with this one is that the model coordination is done automatically while you put your file directly in document management. So let's say I use design collaboration to connect Revit. Let's say I do the synchronization, or I put my latest Revit model to the cloud platform. Model coordination only can look at the folder that it was predetermined, and from that folder is going to do the classification automatically. So that means once the setup is done for model coordination, the clash detection can be automatic. So you don't have to search or put a file somewhere or someplace. Every time those folder or those files are they are updated, you can have the latest result. So it's a faster process and it's simpler, so you don't need to know another software. It's built in. Next, you can see project management. Project management is going to come with film management. So those are two that come with the price of one, we can say. But the main one is going to be this one. And project management is more like I would say an overview of all the modules that you have. This one is going to be the main one. So you're going to have checklist, RFI, and submittal. Okay, submittal, you can do submittal with document management. So the one that's going to be exclusive is going to be RFI and checklist. So RFI, request for information. Good thing with BIM360, you can have either iPad, Windows tablet, Android tablet, and you can run BIM360. If it's an iPad or Android tablet, you're going to have an app for it. If it's a Windows tablet, you can use your browser directly into it. The only thing that you need is going to be your internet connection, and then you can have access to all your files. Since all those platforms are connected together, so that means every time you look at our RFI, you're going to be able to see the plan because all the documents are also on this one. So if you create an RFI and you refer to at one particular location on the plan, everybody going to look always at the same plan. So that means you have what they call one source of truth. So that means nobody can remain in a version that's not up to date. Other thing that you can do is going to be the checklist. Okay, so checklist is going to be basic checklist. When you go on site, you need to make sure you do all the verification that you need to do. So you can use the checklist directly from here. And again, they can be directly in your tablet, and you can have access to them on site. So if something need to be updated, let's say somebody at the office update something in the checklist, it's going to be directly represent on site. So everybody always going to have the same document, the same tool they're going to be working with. So next, we're going to answer another question. We're going to continue with the same flow. So here we can see that we have the BIM360 that can be used from the conceptual design to the commission handover. So that means every step of the process, you can see it here in another kind of way. You're gonna have a module that's gonna be useful for what you need to do. So you can do it from here, detailing, design, construction documentation, pre-construction, and even commission and handover. So a good question is, why would we go on a sort of platform? So they might have some question out there. So is it better than the other tool out there? They probably gonna be similar, but the big advantage with BIM360, it would be that you can use directly the model and you don't have to extract the page. So the creation of PDF, as we're going to show in the demo at the end, is not necessary. Okay, so I know that when you have a big project, the creation of PDF in Revit, that can be a big task. Okay, so the creation of PDF is necessary because you're going to be able to see the sheets view directly from the viewer. They're going to be extracted automatically, and let's say you have PDF, the PDF also going to be viewable also. So here you're going to see that a good version is that it's going to connect a workflow, a team, and data at every stage of the construction. Okay, so whatever the phase you are, you're going to be able to have a connection. So everybody can have always the same document, always gonna have the document up to date. So that means you're gonna have less error and you're gonna be able to deliver your project a little bit faster than you used to. Another good thing, a reason why you want to use this is when you look at the BIM360, you have a archie that gives you the ability to control what user or member are able to use. Okay, so here you can see that the project admin is going to be the one that managing the account, and you're going to be able to create project. And from the project, you're going to be able to add a project admin, and project admin can be able to do whatever you need to do to his project. So if you want to add the account admin want to add members, it's going to be able, you want to be able to create company, and the company can be linked to the member, and you can be able to, once we have BIM360 know that, you can be able to put either a company to a project, a member to a project, or whatever it needs to be done. Next, you can see here a little representation of the cloud work sharing going to be working. So it's going to be basically the same thing as using a network, but you have the ability to put everything on the cloud. So here, this would be represented as a network if it wasn't BIM360. So that means wherever you are able to connect to the project. Another good question, who would be the good candidate to use this platform? Basically, everybody that work in a construction project. From the design, pre-construction, construction, or turnover, you can see everybody can have their piece that can be able to use the platform. So if the project has started from the beginning of BIM360, at any point they can stop, but it would be at their advantage to continue at the end, so they can see all the full benefit of what they can do with the platform. Since it's a big, there's a lot of tool and it's a big platform, so I would say that we're not going to talk all the module what they do, but you can see a little bit here in a glance what you can do. So you can do the design phase, can be with collaboration, it's going to be easy, quantity takeoff, estimating, bid management, scheduling, project management, costs, field collaboration, quantity and safety, quality and safety, and turnover and operation, all the kind of thing that you can do with that platform. Here we have the 4 main module, and we have a little bit of the element that they can do. So you have mobile access, publishing, viewing, real-time Revit collaboration. So basically that's the design, the collaboration is going to be with this one. And you see all the things that you can do here. Okay, so a good question, well, can you get BIM360? Okay, so basically you can go on Autodesk website and you can buy it from here. Okay, so all the product of Autodesk can be bought on their website. Only thing that you need to consider, every Autodesk product also can be bought at local Autodesk dealer. So if you already have Revit, AutoCAD, Navisworks, or one of those, and you bought it from somebody locally, you can also buy those products from them. If you buy it from Autodesk, so that means you only gonna have support from Autodesk. If you buy it from the local dealer, you're gonna be able to have support from Autodesk and from the local dealer. So most of the time, the local dealer gonna respond a little bit faster than Autodesk, because Autodesk have hundreds of thousands of clients, and local dealer probably have 100 or 1,000 of clients. So for them, it's easier to answer to the people faster. And lastly, we can see integration of BIM360. All the we can see the company that have made a module that can be used by BIM360 in order to facilitate your utilization of the platform. And you can see here they are sorted by team. So if you have already a document management like Dropbox, Box, OneDrive, Google Drive, there's a way to integrate them to BIM360. If you use reality capture, like point cloud, stuff like that, you can use drone like 3DR. If you have construction management software like Bluebeam, you can use Bluebeam. You can do the annotation in Bluebeam, and then you can send it back to BIM360. You have all those kind of application software company that have made those modules that give you ability that so you can have a better integration so for what you're doing. So if let's say you see one of those icons, you see them here and you know what they are, you're using it. So that means if you use BIM360, you're gonna be able to connect it directly. And the workflow might change a little bit, but you're gonna be able to use that software and to utilize both BIM360 and the one that you already be using. And here we're going to go directly into a demo. Okay, so let me open BIM360 here. Okay, so here you have BIM360. This is my project. Here I can see all the modules that I've activated for that particular project. Okay, so here I have 2 modules that have been activated. I mean, document management always need to be on because everything is on this one. And I have this one that also been activated. So this one gives me the ability to connect Revit directly to BIM360. So if you look at my Revit, okay, so this file was directly taken from BIM360. Okay, so if I show you here, so here I have the ability to go directly to BIM360. You see the little beam, the B of BIM360 here. So here, this is directly from BIM360. Okay, so those files are not locally, they are not on my network, they are directly on the cloud. So from here, you can just open it, and then you can start working with those files. Okay, a big thing, I mean, it's not that big if let's say everybody know how to work, but a thing with BIM360, when you're working with a work sharing file like this, it's impossible to open the central file. Okay, so if some people are scared people to mess up the central file, it's impossible because every time you click here, it's always going to open a local copy because the central file is basically online. Another thing, we need to make sure that we always have an internet connection. Okay, so same way that you need to have a connection to your network when you're on locally. If not, it's gonna break the same way. Okay, so here we can look that I have I have a plan area and I have a project file area. So the plan area is gonna be where I put all my plan. So when we say plan, it's gonna be something like a PDF, or I can put a file directly. So here I've put a Revit file. And from the Revit file, you can see that the software, I mean, the platform can extract directly the page. Okay, so the sheet have been extracted automatically. So I can click and see directly the sheet. I can put also an AutoCAD file, and I can put DWF also as a file, and they all can be shown as a sheet. So it doesn't really matter the format. Okay, so I can see an icon where they come from, but at the end, let's say I click on this one, I can see a file that it looks like a PDF. If I go back and I click on this one, okay, they have the same visual. Okay, this one also look like a PDF, but this one is a PDF. Okay, so at the end of the day, they're always gonna look the same, so that's a good thing. So let's say I had an AutoCAD file, it would have taken the tab from the AutoCAD file, and it would have been shown as a sheet also. Okay, so if let's say I go back to this one that I've been taken from Revit. Okay, so I have some annotation that you can see there. So let's say if I click on something, I have the ability to show the properties of that object. So all the properties I have from Revit is going to be shown here also. Okay, so if let's say I have some information that I want people to see, they're all going to be here. Let me try with something else. Let's see if I click this, you can see I have the category. So it's a floor. I can do this for basically everything. I have the stair, I have all the information, the instant parameter, and the type parameter that I have in my family in Revit. Okay, so next here, we're gonna look at here. You can see that I have the name of the sheet, and then I have a V2. So that means that's the version 2. So basically, there's a version 1 also. So that means I can look at the version 1 if I want to, and also I can compare version 1 with version 2. So let's say I need to do something. I want to make sure to know what's the change, what have been changed from version 1 to version 2. So what I can do, I can go here and compare. You can see automatically it's going to take the previous version. So since I only have 2, it's going to go version 1. And then I can say compare. It's going to take a couple of seconds. It's going to analyze them, it's going to put them on top of each other, and then it's going to give me a little view like this. So here I can see in green everything that have been added. Here I can see those walls have been added. In red, everything that have been deleted. So here I have a stair that have been deleted. And in yellow, everything that have been modified. So is at the same place? I mean, it was there before, and either it has moved or it's some of the parameter in it have changed or something like that. So here I can say I only want to see what have been removed. So I can go like this, or I can say only what have been added, or only what have been modified. And here I can say I want to see only the architectural stuff, or maybe I don't want to see architectural or structure, electricity, plumbing, and mechanical ventilation. Okay, so I can search by trade like this. I want to see architecture, I can click like this. I only want to see architecture and structure, I can go like this, and so on. Okay, so it's pretty easy to manage. And here also I can change what I see. I can say I don't want to see our overlay. I want to see them side by side. So I can do it like this also. So you can be able to see two, and they can be linked together. So every time you move one, the other one can move also. Okay, I prefer the overlay one. And then you can say if you want to see the change this or not. Okay, so if we look still down here, so there's other thing that we can do. So we can measure. So we can measure the same way we work in Revit. Everything is always to scale. So that means I can measure wherever I want. Oops. So if I go like this, you can see basically it's the same thing, but I might not have clicked at the right location. Let me redo this one. Okay, so you see all the snapping point that you have, they can be also available here. Okay, so as you can see, is the same thing. So this one is more precise. I have 3 numbers after the dot. So yeah, I can see that the one I have here is more precise. And if I go to the option, we don't need to go there, but we can change how they are displayed also. Other thing that we can do is to have a split view. Okay, so sometimes it's hard to know where we are in the project, or maybe we don't want to see it in 3D and in 2D. Okay, so this kind of view it's easy to do in Revit, but the good thing here it's that both of those views they are linked together. So let's say I want to see, I don't know, I want to see that column. I just have to click on the column, and you can see it's gonna appear on the other one. So I can go back. So everything is like transparent, but the column is viewable. Okay, so whatever I need to do, I can do like this. Okay, and the viewing, moving the screen is basically the same thing as Revit. Okay, so nothing is new like this. Revit or AutoCAD or Navisworks, they all move the same way. So whatever I select here, it's gonna appear like this. Okay, so if you have a bigger screen, you would have the ability to see a little bit more. Okay, thing that we can do here, okay, that's good also, you can change your view to a first-person view. Okay, so once you change your view with the first-person view, so that means you can use your keyboard to move your view around. So basically, you're gonna have a navigable view, and is the key is going to be the same as a video game: A, W, D, and S, E, and Q. So if I want to go down, I can use Q like this. So I can go into my building. I can use my mouse to navigate like this. Okay, so if I don't want to have the view like this, I can go like this, and just to make it a little bit faster, I can just zoom in, and then I can go to the first person view. Okay, so it dropped me on the floor. Okay, so basically it's gonna go up the stair by itself, and you're gonna have collision effect, so you cannot go through object. So you really have to navigate through the view like this. Okay, so hour of fun. Okay, so you can see I'm going up the stair. Oh, somebody's here. Okay. We remove this. Okay, so other thing that you can do here, it would be to look at markup. So here I have a couple of markup that have been done before. Here I can see the status of the markup. I can see when they were created and by who. Basically, I did all of them. So let's say I click on the first one. You're going to see it's going to appear like this. I'm going to be able to add attachment to it. So let's say I have a picture, something like that. I can archive it. I can edit markup. If it wasn't published, I couldn't be able to publish it. I can also add attachment from here. So I just have to click on the markup that was done before. And to create the markup, I just have to use the tool that's already there. So nothing too complicated. I select the tool. I do whatever I need to do. And then when I'm done, I save the markup. By default, it's going to be private, and I can just publish it, and everybody going to have access to it. Okay, so if I leave it to private, it's only for me. Nobody can see it. Once I say publish, everybody that's in the project, they're going to be able to see it. And they need to be able to see that view. Okay, so somebody can be in the project and don't have access to a folder, so they won't be able to see it. Next, here we have the issues. So here we have the ability to add issues. So if you have issue in your model, you can say, oh, I have an issue. So let's say here, I want to see this one. Okay, the issue, there's no door. Okay, yes, that would be bad. So people can create a room, but nobody can have access to it. So that's a pretty big issue. And here I can say, okay, I can answer to that issue. I can say, okay, I need to add the door. So now you can see that the issue state is to okay. Okay, so this one is answered. Let's say I want to add an issue. Let's say I want to create one here. Just have to create here, and then I need to put a location. So here I can have an issue here. I can say no door again. From here, I could choose the type. So design, this one was check design build. I guess the code they say you have to have a door to room. Here you can say to who you want to assign it. You can either assign it to the user, to the role. So let's say I was a construction manager. I can write construction manager, and if there's more than one in the project, they all gonna receive a email saying that it's assigned to them. Or you can add it to a company. If you know that's the architect, but you don't know exactly who's going to fix it in the architect company. So you can say architect, and all the architect going to receive those this issue as a email. So I'm going to choose myself here, and everybody in the project, they're going to be listed here also. I can choose a date, need to fix this week. We can put a location, we can put location detail if we want, and then we can put root of cause. We could say the communication, nobody told them that they need to put a door. And then we can put a description, and then you can see the issues can be created. It's going to take a couple of seconds. There you go. And now you can see the issue have been created. You have a warning on top here. Whoops. Okay, so if we go back here, so here we saw that we can look at those plans, the markup, the issue, they're going to be listed here. So you can see them in a view, and all those schedule view like this, you can export them. Here you can have some review. So here I have a review. So this one is a one-step review, but you can have up to 3-step review. So meaning, let's say 2% or 3% need to view this plan or this sheet before it's sent. So you can say, okay, first it's me, next is going to be them, and then the last one going to be able to give the final approval, and then the sheet can be available to the one that need to have it. So yeah, I can say I can void it if I want. I can start the review process. So I just can say, okay, this is the final review, and then it's going to be reviewed. So that I would say that sheet is good to go. Same thing here. I have transmittal, so it's going to be basically the folder or the plan that you see here. I just have to select the plan that I have that can be in that transmittal, and I can say, okay, now this is ready for construction. I can send a transmittal, and everybody that need to have access to it or have it to do whatever they need to do, they're going to receive an email saying, okay, that set is ready for construction, and everything always going to be registered, so you can always go back to see what was sent if somebody need to be changed or if there was a mistake. And here, all the issue that we did before, they're going to appear here as a list. And again, we can create issue from here, or we can export it as a list if we need to put it in another kind of software. And lastly, we're going to look at this portion. That's going to be where you put all the other kind of files. So here is going to be file that going to have plan. And those going to be all the other kind of files. It's going to be document, doc, it could be Excel file, it could be also PDF and Revit file. You can put whatever is pertinent to that project, and you can put them here. It's going to be like any other kind of software, like Google Drive or like this, but you're always going to have a control of who's going to be able to view those files. So you can change the permission directly from here. So let's say this one is called architecture. I mean, I can say everybody that's in that company have access to that folder, but the one called MEP, it's only those who won't be able to have access to this folder. So basically they won't see it. Another thing you need to note, when you create a work sharing model, basically the work sharing model, the central file is going to be host here. So the one that I was looking at here. Okay, so this one is located in the project file, and it's going to be created hosted directly here. And that's about it for me. That was a short introduction of BIM360, and a little bit more in depth for document management, which the one is the main module that they always going to be included. So every time you can buy a module, they always going to come with document management, because the other documents basically are in document management. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Steve. So it looks like we have a couple minutes to answer if any questions. So if you'd like to pose a question live, please raise your hand now by clicking on the hand icon in the control panel. Just please also make sure that your audio is working correctly. And just while we wait for any questions to come through, the recording of the presentation will be sent through tomorrow. As always, please feel free to share this recording with any colleagues. And if you have any follow-up questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Our support team's email will be provided with the recording. So I'm just going to give it a couple of seconds. All right, that seems like that's a wrap for today. As I just mentioned, if there are any questions after we have closed this session, please feel free to email us. Our contact details will be provided with the recording tomorrow. All right, so we'll now be ending the webinar. I just want to say a big thank you to Steve, and also thank you to everyone who registered. Have a great day.